Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, the newest movie to be released by visionary director Luc Besson, and stars Cara Delevingne and Dane DeHaan as our two leads in Valerian and Laureline. Going into this movie, the material got me super excited. I thought there was going to be great visuals, great storytelling, great cast, and I was super pumped. When I walked out of this theater, I wasn't disappointed. I was a little more like, what did I just see? Because I don't think this is a bad movie. There's nothing bad about this movie. The acting is good. The characters are cool. The story is decent. The visuals are astonishing. And just some of the stuff that was created in the visuals and the way it looked, I was blown away. I think it's some of the best visuals we've seen in a movie in a long time. The things that bothered me were the writing and just sometimes how the narrative flow went in the story structure. It's a pretty bland story. I can get used to a bland story if you give me a great characters and visuals and everything going on with it. If you make everything else larger than life, the story can kind of be just decent. But at times the story was just so generic, so average, and the writing wasn't atrocious. It just wasn't great. And you can tell that wasn't the main focus for Luc Besson. He wanted to do some great visuals and just great looking set pieces and characters and creatures. And that was the main focus I got. Because there are just so many great visuals in this. Every scene on planets or in space, the costuming, the set design, everything was beyond perfect in the way it looked. Every costume that Valerian and Laureline wore, every costume that Rihanna wore as Bubble, every single creature looked so good. There's this one fucked up creature that looked like Tom Servo and a gumball machine had sex, and I was like, holy shit, that is so weird. Who would even thought to create that? The characters were all so great. Those weird, snarky looking guys that are kind of like ducks, as Laureline called them. Or just call them pigeons. I can't remember. Those guys were kind of cool. The three of them that looked like goblins almost. Those guys were really cool. Everything was so cool looking. And just the story and the writing is where this movie faltered because it wasn't very good. It wasn't. It was just so bland. And I wish it wasn't bland because we live in such a non-bland world. Everything is so larger than life and just amazing to see. And I just wanted more from that. I wanted to see more. The directing is really good. Every scene where there's extended, continuous shots, they're shot very well. And Luc Besson knows how to build a world, because this is a world. And I got the sense that this was a world, and I really did like this world, and I liked the characters in it. Dane DeHaan, a man who I'm not a big fan of. I haven't been super on board with every performance he's ever given. I respect him, and I do think he's a solid actor who knows how to work on his projects. Both him and Cara Delevingne, I think this is my favorite role that the two of them have each been in, because I bought their chemistry, and at times it feels a little soft in one note, and they're not putting a performance in there. But that's how I see Valerian as a character. He thinks he's the best in the world, so he doesn't have to try, he doesn't have to put in the effort, and that's how I see him, and I did appreciate that. And the subtle things that Cara Delevingne did as Laureline, I absolutely loved. She was probably the standout character for me in this movie. I have never liked Cara Delevingne in a movie. I just never liked her. And this one, I really wanted to like her as an actress, and I really did. And I did in this movie. I thought she did incredible. Her character made sense. She felt real. And her relationship with Valerian and their chemistry, I 100% bought. I think it was one of the highlights of the movie for me. And here's where it problems, because I love the chemistry so much, and I love the way the characters talked and interacted, that I wish they had better scripts. Oh, man, because at times it just feels like, oh, here's where we'll put a quip, here's where we'll put a quip, we'll put some one-liners, we'll put some flirty one-liners in there, and there wasn't any, real tension or love built in there. But when the times when you did get that at times, and when the times you did, it worked. I wish there was just more of it, though, and I wish it was the writing. It was the writing. Clive Owen was in this. He did okay for what he had to do. Ethan Hawke. You don't get a lot of Ethan Hawke in this movie. But what you do get of Ethan Hawke, you're going to be like, holy shit, that's Ethan Hawke? That's unbelievable. It was so bizarre to see Ethan Hawke in this role. And Rihanna, she was fine. I have no problems with her. She did okay for what she had to do. Overall, this movie is something you should check out if you like sci-fi. Because the story of Valerian is some of the oldest, big big sci-fi that we've seen. It predates Star Wars, and we haven't had an adaptation of it before. So for something that old, something that, predates Star Wars and is a big influence on all of science fiction today, I wish we had a better adaptation. Is this adaptation absolute garbage? It's not. There's a lot of stuff you can enjoy in this movie. A lot of stuff I did enjoy. It's probably some of the funnest visuals I've seen in a theater in a long time, especially this year. I don't know if I would put this in my top 10 movies of the year, but it's definitely close because I did enjoy everything I saw. I just feel like they missed the mark on a few points. So, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, I'm going to give a 72%. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. If you liked it, if you didn't, I'm excited. I really hope we get a sequel. Not as a big scale, though. Make it, tone it down a bit, So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Good luck.